Hey guys, this is Reza here from Monset XRC. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube and put up some kind of review video. But here's a first look on my first ever buggy. This is the Hobao Hyper VSE buggy. Alright, it came as a RTR kit, but I've been working on it to replace the diff fluid because what comes with the vehicle are just grease inside the diffs. But here in this video I'm going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to go through with you the details of the Hyper VSE, because there's not much information on the RTR kit. There's a lot of I think there's 1 or 2 videos on the ARTR or just the roller kits. So here's the one with the electronics inside. I'm just going to pop the shell here. Alright guys, so from the front you will see all the usual stuff that's required on the buggy. The only unique thing, because I've never had a buggy before, this guy is opposite screw thread as this side. So this is going clockwise to unscrew and counterclockwise to tighten up. Alright, so here's a first look on the Hyper VSE. Alright, fronts, you have your big bore shocks. These are very similar to the 8SC, the Hyper 8SC. I think the springs are also the same as the 8SC. 7mm hex here. I'm going to bring it around on the side. You will see a Servox servo. I'm not sure, I think this is probably 15 kilos. Alright, response, I think the stock response is about 0.15 seconds or so. It's not that great, but it's okay. Right up here, from the electronics perspective, you will see it says this is a Hobby Wing WPS8A. The RTR version is 100 amps. You can see it on the inside. It says 100. You can see the 00, the 1 is covered by the cable tie. So this is 100 amp ESC. Good enough for you to run 4S. But I will be plugging this thing out and put in a 150 amp ESC just in case I want to run 6S. The motor is the same motor as the MTE and the 8SC if you order it. This is the 4076 2000 kV motor. Pinion, I think they gave a 14 tooth pinion here. I don't know whether I can get a look on the yeah, can't tell, probably can't. It's somewhere inside there. Yeah, anyway, this is it's a 14T pinion. Alright, let's just have a once over on the vehicle from this end here, right on top, so you can see exactly what's going on. Okay, so what I do like is it looks like the shock towers are actually thicker than the 8SC, so maybe this can take a little bit more abuse. One more thing I want to highlight is the upper A-arms here. They are better fitted with a tighter tolerance and it doesn't shift so much. The 8SC, I had to shim the back and the front here to make it tighter, so this is real tight, which is good. Tight in the sense that it doesn't slip forward and backwards, but you know, but going up and down when the arms are moving is really smooth. So the tolerances are a lot tighter, which is nice for this buggy. The rear, you just have the tie rods here, which is common for buggies, and a cool touch, I guess. Again, it's my first buggy, I don't know. Most buggies should have this you know, dirt guard or mud flap here on the rear, so this will be great to keep all the debris out from the rear A-arms. Okay, so I think this buggy has a very it's a very universal platform. I can run quite a lot of stuff, a lot of different terrains with this buggy. What I did was I bought different kinds of tires for this buggy. This is the stock tire and wheel set for the buggy. So these tread patterns apparently are real good out of the box. You know, there's a lot of good reviews on this tire and wheels. But guess what I found at the hobby shop, right? I found this. How cool is that? Alright, so these rims will add a nicer look to the buggy. You know, if I'm a basher, not a racer, so I want my vehicles to look a bit more character. So these rims are nice. Now the plus point would be what's inside here. It's not the foams, but it's the molded insert. So the molded insert gives the tires a bit better shape and form. So it comes back to its original shape when it starts to deform. It comes back to its original shape a lot faster. I'm not sure about the shock absorption. It seems a bit more bouncy than the foam, but I hope to run these more often than the stock tires just because they look cool. Now, what you can do as well, just get the Hyper VTE wheels and tires. Now that's going to give the buggy another different use and look altogether again. So you can run this guy on the road now. Alright, now these tires look it's like real sticky, so if I put on the table, it sticks on the table. I could almost drag the table. So these are, I think, fairly good tires for general fun on the road. So this again will give a different look to my buggy. You could also run, for bashing purposes, the Hyper 8SC wheels and tires. These are great tires. I must tell you, this perform really good on dirt and, you know, just general bashing. It's got great you know, cushioning ability after jumps. The only problem I had was these beads here are really narrow, so even though I glued it myself, the bead keeps coming out. But the tire compound is fantastic, and because of this girth here on the outside here, gets a little bit more you know, ability to absorb impact on the way down. AliExpress wheels and tires just for fun. Alright, this will have a different look altogether again on the buggy, so I can have many multiple variations on this vehicle. And I think the slightly shorter wheelbase as compared to the 8SC will make it a bit more agile. I've seen very good reviews from Werner's line. Yeah, Stefan Z is on YouTube, right? So he's bashed this vehicle real good. All I want to do is just want to send this guy flying, right guys? So initially I'm going to run just 4S just to test it out, and then I'm going to up the pinion maybe by 2 to 16, and then maybe one more to 17, up the punch on the ESC on the 150M, and let it rip on this guy. One tiny detail that I thought that Hobao missed out was this guy here. They should have put in an aluminum servo horn, but it's plastic. So they could have just simply put the servo horn from the MTE here instead of this plastic one. Just a tiny thing. So overall, it's a nice, cool kit. And you see the braces are real solid. The braces here, these are plastic braces, but I think plastic is fine because you know, it has a little flex and yield and not too stiff, so it doesn't affect any other things on the rear diff covers and things like that. The drive shafts, yes, a bit thin. There's a common complaint that these drive shafts are super thin. I don't know whether you can see them. Yeah, it's just focus at camera here. So these guys are, again, hang on, can't get it, pull it out. Okay, yes, so these drive shafts are thin, maybe 4mm, 3, yeah. I know the Arma Typhons are like 5mm, so those are monsters of a drive shaft. So, you know, maybe in future I'll get an Arma, but let me just try out my hand at the buggy with the Hobao first. It's a really cheap kit, Singapore dollars 550, and I get everything in, 550, 580, everything in, you know, with transmitter, receiver, ESC, fantastic motor, wheels, tires, you know, and a body shell. So it's, from a price perspective, it's really cheap as compared to the Arma. So these drive shafts are thin on the front and rear. I think CVDs on the front and just dog bones on the rear here. Again, not impressive on the drive shaft diameter, but everything else looks solid. You know, Hobao quality shocks. These guys take a huge amount of beating on the MTE, and nothing leaks, nothing breaks on my MTE. So these are amazing and brilliant shocks. The only thing you guys have to do is, again, to really open up the diffs and service the diffs even before you make your first run. There's only grease on the inside, so I'm not quite happy why it's always just grease on the inside. It's like really lazy work from the factory. So I've put using the Hobao diff fluid, so it's 7,000 weight on the front. It's going to be 9,000 in the middle, and then 2,000 on the rear. Okay, so you have to spend some time working on the diffs. Other than that, oh yeah, the battery tray looks real solid and big. You could put in nice 3S packs here as well, 2x3S to make it 6S. It's more than enough space. I like that they have this recess here, so you can stack the packs one another, especially those packs where you have the plugs sticking out this way. So you can arrange the packs really nicely on this tray here. It's a good design. It's a fantastic design, and they're generous with the Velcro straps. There's 3 instead of 2. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's really about it. I think the Hyper VSE is getting ready for its first run this Saturday. Today is Thursday, so I'm taking my time servicing the diffs. I hate doing it. It takes too much time servicing the diffs, because you gotta remove quite a lot of stuff and then clean it out, degrease and everything, so that's going to take a lot of time. But again, folks, this is my first impressions of the Hobao Hyper VSE. I hope you get a closer look on the vehicle. And there's Kevin at the back there staring at me. And just create a better level of awareness for this vehicle. There's not enough information on the VSE on the internet, on YouTube. So yeah, maybe check out the base as well. A-arms are nice and thick. I've always liked Hobao A-arms. They're really good. The aluminum chassis. I think they have an upgraded 7075 thickness chassis, so if you want to do that, you can do that. In the meantime, 6061 I think will do for me. I hope the shock towers will last a bit better than the 8SE. 8SE, this thing tends to bend like a banana, so you could just easily bend it back and smash it with a hammer, so that's fine. Alright folks, so again, Reza here from Monster X RC. Thanks for watching, signing out.